just a bit of a cautionary tale when comparing and contrasting GDP figures. First of all, the West's estimation of the East's GDP figures are compromised both fundamentally and theoretically. And let me explain this to you. Like, first of all, the West has divorced herself from pretty much my whole world, other than her guilty cohorts, atheists strutting around presenting themselves as Zionists, which means people that consider themselves smarter than God. And if you argue with them, they'll cancel you, chop your head off. But only in democracy, as you say. The problem with democracies is you have 10,000 kings, but you've never known a true king on this planet. So what you have are people with ideas of being kings, and it deranges them because they're not kings. At the best, they're clowns or imposters of kings. And it doesn't matter what avenue they pursue, whether it's journalism, banking, or politics, lies and fraud, to bugger the law with impunity as the realm that these individuals worship. They have no concern or empathy for human life at all. You know, if there's a way to make $1 killing people, it's a lot easier than having to go to the bother doing business with them, get off my ass and make a difference, right? Like, it's much easier to just create war. There's so much money, but only the money, see, there's only one reason the money's there, and that's because my USA citizens are thus far stupid. And they've been encouraged to be stupider than they were ever born to be by confusing them with gross and inane lies and strongly held opinions about the pronouns and the value of lies over truth. The value of Kamala Harris over Trump. Neither one of them are perfect specimens of humanity, let me assure you. But Trump is a man who knows that we do not lie and that our predictions are fairly good, historically speaking, only. And I've been speaking with him recently, and I at least have a conscious wiggle where the man once was to get through to. He too is absorbed in this political, mumbo jumbo. I think it's beneath his dignity, to tell you the truth. To get into a slandering contest with the Democrats, you're certainly going to lose. All they do is bait you, kind of like Vladimir baits the Ukrainians, and they fall for it every time. They're so stupid. You give your enemies a clear roadmap to your destruction. I've only been in a few street fights. I've never joined the military. I never liked the idea of fighting, really. I did when I was a young kid, because I liked defeating bullies before they got full-blown. I didn't pick on people smaller than me. I was just not interesting. The guy had to be bigger than me at least. And most of the time, bullies came to me for pounding, and I did. 100% of them. And I gave up fighting when I was about 13 or 14 years I didn't participate in it again until I was 30. Maybe 31. Oh. No, it'd be about 28. I got another fight when I was 28. But I didn't hit anybody. A couple of kids came in and busted up my wife's parents' restaurant bar one day. And so I invited this new friend of mine, Teddy. I said, I'm going to go punch some people out tomorrow. If you want to join me, you're welcome to. This is where I'll be at this time. So next day I'm there, and Teddy's already there. He arrived 15, 20 minutes before I got there. And the same guys came into the bar again. So Teddy and I proceeded to get up, and I grabbed the kids, moved them outside. Teddy grabbed one, I grabbed the other. And I'm ready to pound the living piss out of this kid. My wife's mother's like left or right side was all bruised. So these kids are, bullied her and her husband and their son-in-law the day previous. And so by the time I turned around, Teddy had already broken the other kid's jaw. And then the cops arrived. But before the cops arrived, I had this kid, I've got him, he's bent over, I got him by the scruff of the shirt or wherever, and I'm ready to pound on him. He says, it wasn't me, I swear it was my brother. It was my brother, it wasn't me. I look like him, but it wasn't me. I said, you with your brother, you have him here in 5 minutes, I'm not going to find you. And so then the cops arrived and buggered everything up. But, I hadn't done that since I was like 13. I hadn't been, in any way violent, And I wasn't violent then either. I don't want to be violent. Like I would rather do anything than hurt somebody. Like I can't kill, no matter how much they deserve it. I can't take somebody else's life either. I'm very grateful that Vladimir is doing all that work for us. I couldn't do it. I don't have the guts. I don't feel, I would have to do that as a preemptory. I have to be convinced that there is no other resolution, as I am with the Zionist movement strutting herself about today. It's the news to her in town. I got news for you. She's at least 4,000 years old. Anti-Semitism is born of the conduct of Jacob's sons 4,000 years ago. Read about it in Genesis yourself. And Palestine is far older than Israel. Like Israel didn't come into being until after Jacob was, God knows how old, but Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And his two sons are the fathers of anti-Semitism. Our really Jews know this. They're apologetic about it, and they're living their lives concerned about their unintentional sins. I see them. I didn't at first. I didn't know the difference. I just figured, I'm here. Part of my job is to be their Messiah. And the Muslim dude also. And the Mayan guy as well. Any other people who are inspired in spirit to understand that there are changes happening in the consciousness of life on this planet, as well as changes in the environment and in the weather. Everything is changing constantly, and change of flux and flow, as my meditation master was wont to speak. The thing is, you're crazy. You've made yourselves crazy. You thought you're making my kids crazy, and you thought you could do that with impunity, but you can't. It's metaphysical law. It's impossible. That which you do unto others is going to get done unto you. Double. plus 20%. This is the cost of being an asshole these days. And you're quite free to be an asshole if you want to. It's just I'm here to tell you there's a cost for it. Just so you know. This is your King of Kings speaking with you. A long talk tonight. I'm telling you, you might want to look inside yourselves for a bit of wisdom and see what's going to really work in life. Because I'm not going to order you to do anything. I'm praying to Christ I can inspire you to grow a brain